finish wetting them now so that the dye will be able to penetrate the fabric. But we have some other materials that makes up the dye stuff. We have the dyes. These are the dyes. These are the dyes. You can't actually tell the dye not until they're using them. So we have different colors here. This is your hydrogen sulfide. If you look at it now, you can feel it. You see that it's fine. You can touch it. It's fine. Okay. It's okay. Yes, it's fine. Then you see that this one, which is the caustic soda, has feel it now. It has something like seeds. This is your caustic soda. So we are going to put all these materials together to make up our dye. So now, what the next step we are going to take is, let's bring the fabric out of the water and press out the water, squeeze out the water. We have 3 buckets, and these 3 buckets stands for 3 different colors. So we are going to start with the ratio of the dye stuff. When I mean ratio of the dye stuff, like we need to measure the caustic soda, the hydrogen sulfide, and the quantity of dye we are going to mix with the other 2 chemicals. So now we have a teaspoon. You cannot actually tell the color of the dye not until you introduced water to it. So I'm through with the dye for now. I'm going to add the other 2 chemicals to these dyes now, which are caustic soda and what? Hydrogen. Good. So now I have to start adding those ones to it. I believe you all know the reason why I'm putting on hand gloves.
Yes.
I need to protect my hands. If not, these chemicals are harsh to the skin. So what is the name of for these? This is the fine one. So I have to quickly return my materials back to the bag to preserve them. Then the last one is what? Caustic soda, yes. If you look at it, I'm always adding 2 teaspoons. I'm okay with this now. So the next step is to add water to mix the 3 components or recipe together. Dye stuff like this. Next step, please. When you mix dye stuff like this, there's always a reaction from the 3 components, which is the dye, the caustic soda, and the hydrogen sulfide. Thereby you see it emitting from the place where these 3 components are mixed. That process is called exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Okay, so at this point in time, we are experiencing that now. But we have 2 methods of applying dye. We have the dropping method and the dipping method. So I'm going to apply those 2 methods as we apply the dyes right now. Okay, like this. This is the dropping method. So this is what do I call this method now? So I'm going to show you how to. I believe we all know the reason why we tie these fabrics.
For a particular design.
So you can restrict the dye to some certain areas. And also this tying also create patterns for the fabric. So now, finish dyeing. Finish dyeing. We are going to allow the fabric to stay like this so that the dye will be able to penetrate well into the fabric. Sometimes some places will allow it to stay like for 30 minutes, 1 hour, some 6 hours, but we don't have that time. So what we are going to do, we'll just allow it to stay for some, like about 25-30 minutes. Then we'll begin to cut the rope, cut the rubbers, and then we begin to weave. So we need fresh. I think that will.
Wow! This is my girl. This is beautiful.
The truth is that what aids the design is the ability for you to be able to tie it properly. Then the application of dye, then the colors that you used. So these color combinations just complement each other.
Yes, it's nice. Wow. Like wow.
The name of this project is
Tie and dye.
So normally when we are working on tie and dye, the process of tying is the major thing we must do. You cannot skip tying. So once you've started tying, then gradually you begin to create a pattern on that fabric. Again, the reason why we tie is to restrict dyes from penetrating into some certain areas. So once you finish tying, or before you start tying, you are advised to wet your fabric, your cloth, to make it wet. So after you finish soaking it, the next thing is for you to put the recipes or component that makes the dyeing process, which is your hydrosulfide, caustic soda, and dye. So you get your liquid or your water inside the bucket, then you mix your dyeing stuff together. Once you finish mixing, you can apply any of the techniques of applying dye, which is either dipping and
Dropping.
Good. So we have already finished or already applied fabrics here, which we've already applied our dye on. So we're only waiting for this dye to fist into the fabrics before we start cutting the roof off, so we can get our pattern.